The Beatles are in the studio working out an arrangement for a new composition. Tempers flare and an argument breaks out between two of the Beatles. The one Beatle expresses frustration because the composer of the song is being very particular about how he wants the arrangement. The argument concludes with this Beatle storming out of the studio in a huff and going home. But this is not a recording session for Get Back, and the frustrated Beatle is not George Harrison. It is also not a recording session for the White Album, and the Beatle walking out is not Ringo Starr. In fact, the date is June 21st, 1966, and the composer of the song, who is being so meticulous about his arrangement, is not even Paul McCartney. It is John Lennon. The Beatle who storms out of the recording session? Paul McCartney. On the 21st of June, 1966, the Beatles began recording the final song for their latest album, Revolver. The song was originally titled He Said, then He Said, He Said. By the time the Beatles began working on the song, the title and lyric have changed again to She Said, She Said.
She said, I know what it's like to be dead. I know what it is to be sad. And it's making me feel like I've never been born.
The inspiration for this song came from an evening in Los Angeles in 1965 when John was tripping acid at a party. The Beatles, along with David Crosby and a few other friends, had just finished watching the film Cat Ballou, starring actress Jane Fonda. Jane's brother, actor Peter Fonda, was also at the party. He came up to John and told the story of how when he was 11 years old, he had been accidentally shot in the chest but survived. According to Fonda, it had been a near-death experience, and he kept whispering, I know what it's like to be dead. The exchange freaked out John so much that he asked that Peter Fonda leave the party. Because of the complexity of the song's arrangement, the Beatles spent the better part of the day rehearsing the unusual composition. That evening, the Beatles began laying down the instrumental track for the song. The Beatles had progressed through 3 takes when an argument broke out between John and Paul. Years later, Paul could not recall what sparked the argument, but there is speculation he did not appreciate John's direction on how he should play. There are conflicting sources as to whether Paul is actually playing on the final recording or if that's George on bass. Mark Lewison's book, The Beatles' Complete Recording Sessions, says it is Paul. However, Ian MacDonald, in his book Revolution in the Head, claims Paul left before the song was recorded. In any event, the disagreement was short-lived and Paul did return to the Beatles. But it goes to show that the White Album and Get Back sessions were not the first time tensions ran high during recording.